for the weigh-in. And there's the smiling face of Pacquiao and Al Bernstein. Yesterday we met with him, and he smiled all the way through the meeting.
Manny Pacquiao, who was as engaging when he met with us as anyone. It was amazing.
Let's go to Michael Buffer now.
The welterweight titles will be on the line, but most importantly, the title of pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. At this time, please welcome to the stage the man whose credentials guarantee him a place in the Boxing Hall of Fame. 57 victories, 38 wins by knockout. He's the fighting pride of the Philippines, a record 8 division world champion, the reigning and defending two-time WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
Fundamentally, control of the event has belonged to Mayweather Promotions and the Mayweather side. So I had a hunch that this crowd for the weigh-in would be heavily pro-Mayweather. That doesn't seem to turn out to be the case.
No, and we've seen that revealed in all these polls where people are picking the winner. People are picking with their heart and picking Pacquiao. And this crowd clearly is showing him a lot of love. How do you know a fighter is relaxed coming into a weigh-in when he takes a selfie of himself, right?
Here it is, the Pac-Man, Pacquiao!
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, boxing's undisputed #1 attraction, ready to take on the challenge of his career. He is a future Hall of Famer, a record of 47 wins and no losses. The renowned pound-for-pound great and pay-per-view king, the 11-time world champion in 5 weight divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the celebrated boxing superstar, introducing the one, the only, Floyd Manny Mayweather.
Mayweather fighting in his hometown and in what has to be called his home arena, even though Pacquiao has also fought here many times, Al, but Mayweather's level of comfort amid these circumstances probably unsurpassed at this point.
Probably unsurpassed in boxing history because of how many fights he's had here, and the fact that, as you pointed out earlier, Jim, he almost controls his own destiny as it relates to every detail about these kind of events, and we're kind of seeing his comfort level here.
Both fighters have hosted processions of movie and entertainment stars in their gyms during the weeks of build-up to the fight and their training. might be a distraction to some fighters, but these are such experienced public figures that it's really an everyday affair for them.
I agree, and there is very little that can distract them. Even though they have very different personalities and approaches to life and the sport, the thing they share in common is they were both unflappable.
And both congenital gym rats who tend to be in shape whether they are fighting or not.
Yeah, it's a very good point. They believe in preparation, and as you point out, the gym is their home.
Floyd, Manny, Mayweather.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up onto the scales will be the reigning and defending WBO welterweight champion of the world, the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao. £145, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to the scale, the world's highest paid athlete, the reigning and undefeated WBA and WBC welterweight and super welterweight champion of the world, Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather weighs in at 146 pounds.
So there are the weights. Pacquiao at 145 pounds, and by the way, it was reported to me earlier today that Pacquiao ordered a big lunch prior to the weigh-in, and that's not customary for most fighters, but it bespeaks the fact that he's probably never really been a 147-pound fighter. Mayweather at 146. Al, what do you make of those two weights?
Well, Pacquiao was at 143 earlier in this week, so he was way, below the weight. 145 is the range he's come in at in recent fights. He was as low as 142 a couple fights ago against Marquez, and Floyd Mayweather has never had an issue making 147.
Care to take a guess as to what they will actually weigh when they get into the ring tomorrow night?
I would guess that Mayweather will have a 7 to 8 pound advantage over Pacquiao in terms of weight.
That he'll rehydrate overnight up to about 154 or something of that nature, and Pacquiao will probably still be right at about 147. And now we're ready for the traditional stare down. Relatively uneventful when they did this at a news conference in Los Angeles several weeks ago.
Talk about rehydrating.
There you have it.
Of course, when they did that a couple weeks ago, it wasn't quite in this atmosphere. Let's see if that has an impact.
Pacquiao practicing his crab pose. And you see the height differential in Mayweather's favor as the stare down begins.
Let's get him, Pete. Let's go. Let's get him. Let's get him.
So he's longer, he's taller, and he's likely to be heavier in the ring. And given the fact that his style is that of a protected defender and Pacquiao's is that of a violent attacker, that makes the problem that much more difficult for Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, it's a conundrum for him in many ways, but right now he is drinking in what is a lot of adulation from this crowd.
Well, the crowd is loving it. The fighters went through it pretty much in a business-like fashion. The only difference being, of course, the same thing we saw in the fighter meetings yesterday, really, Al. Floyd Mayweather serious, obviously devoted to the task at hand in a very professional way. Pacquiao, in his own way, celebrating his presence here and the joy that he feels at being Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, when we met with him, I thought was as relaxed and amiable as you could possibly be before an event like this. And, you know, it was fascinating to see.
Jim Gray standing by with Floyd Mayweather right now. Let's go there.
All right, Jim Lampley, thank you very much. That was very interesting, Floyd. Manny Pacquiao said thank you to you, correct?
I don't know what he exactly said, but, you know, my thing is to focus on what we got to do tomorrow.
Did you respond?
No.
What is your mindset as you come into this fight? Yesterday you said it's getting tougher and tougher to go into the gym. Now as the fight is near, what is your frame of mind?
My frame of mind is just to be smart, you know, listen to this man right here, because without my father, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Do you still feel that you have never wanted to win a fight more than this one, as you have said to me and others earlier in this promotion?
I think all 47 fights played a major key. I've dedicated myself to the sport of boxing for over 20 years, and I'm ready.
Do you feel as though Manny Pacquiao might do something reckless tomorrow night that you'll be able to take advantage of?
I can't really say, but, you know, I'm ready to fight.
Any predictions?
Who's ever watching, buy pay-per-view.
MGM Grand, what's going on right here? What do you think of this atmosphere? Would you have ever believed that something like this would have come to fruition?
It's an unbelievable turnout. You know, I'm glad that all the fans, you know, came here to support myself and to support Manny. Now it's time for us to go out there tomorrow and do what we do best.
Floyd, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow night. Let's send it over to Max Kellerman.
Manny, did you just tell Floyd Mayweather thank you?
Yes, thank you.
What are you thanking him for?
Thanking for the fans that the fight it will happen.
Floyd has said that when you were at the Miami Heat game, he noticed that you were sizing him up and you noticed the size advantage that he has. You just had another chance to size him up. What do you think?
Well, I think I believe that the fight it must be happen because the fans deserve it. All the fans deserve this fight.
What did you think when you sized him up? When you looked at him, he says that you noticed that he's bigger than you. What do you think about that?
You know, it's not. I've been fighting bigger guy like Margarito de la Hoya. It doesn't matter to me.
A lot of people wondering if you can be that dynamic, attacking, knockout artist again. How do you feel about that?
I feel tomorrow that the Lord, you know, is always with me and strengthen me, and He will deliver him into my hands.
A lot of fans here, both for Floyd and for you, and obviously a lot of people around the world, especially in the Philippines, rooting for you very hard. What responsibility do you have to these fans and to your fans in the Philippines?
I know this is a great responsibility for me to give enjoyment to the fans, and this is for me. I believe that the fans deserve it. Tomorrow, the fans deserve to have a good fight. Is that either you're a fan of Mayweather or you're a fan of Manny Pacquiao? You deserve to have a good fight tomorrow.
Thanks, Manny. Jim.
All right, so the most heavily attended weigh-in in the history of the sport is now history. And what are your strongest and most graphic impressions of it, Al?
Jim, I'm sitting here, and those of us who cover this sport on a regular basis probably didn't think this was ever going to happen. And not only has it happened, but this promotion has taken on a life of its own, sometimes in a Fellini-esque way, but more often in terms of the sheer spectacle of what we've seen. And today is a perfect example. I don't know about you, this event has made this fight real for me.
Yeah,